came here to tell you that you are supported and you are always guided by some sacred force behind the things that are possible to see. Behind all visible objects, there is some force which is giving it life, and we are many times talking about that force as it was shown over and over again through the quantum physics and different scientific studies, that there is something in the background that is always changing, always moving, always spinning. Each atom is like a small tornado which is always spinning, always moving. And you know what? We are made out of these atoms. Every physical thing here on this planet, in the universe, stars, everything is made out of these atoms. And the space between me and you, me and the camera right now, between everything is again filled with those small tornadoes. They can be energy and they can be matter. Actually, all the matter is just a different speed of spinning of those tornadoes. They're just spinning on different speeds. Slower the speed, more it feels like a matter, and we are made out of it. We are all connected. Divine matrix, as scientists are calling this really mystical matrix on which everything is connected. When I think about something, I already created an effect on that matrix. But it's not enough. Thoughts are powerful, but it's not the thought that is changing the matter, and it's not the emotion that is changing the matter. It is the feeling that is changing the matter. So what is feeling? Many people are asking what is the difference between feelings and emotions, and I will tell you what is the difference. So emotions are the byproducts of the thoughts. Okay? Emotions are experienced when we are thinking, and you know that most of the times we are overthinking. Whatever is the idea, we are then overthinking that idea, and that's why most of the times we are not acting on the idea. We are not taking actions. Like, how many times you have felt like, oh, I want to change something, or for example, I got this truly incredible idea of the business that I will start, and in the next 2 days you didn't move anything and this idea went by. And maybe even you notice that somebody else took action on that idea and he made it, she made it. So emotions, usually we feel bad emotions. Most of the times we feel bad emotions just because we are overthinking. So our body is remembering the experiences by the emotional state that we are in at the moment when we experience something. So for example, if you're watching this video and this video can make you really happy, because I'm in a good mood right now, I can give you some of this energy, and because of that you can feel great emotions. Even in the next 2 hours, if you will think about something positive, you will maybe remember this video. Or if something will make you happy, you will think about that video. Oh, today I watched this incredible video and I finally know how to communicate with that force which is giving me life, so I can manifest healing, I can manifest greater things into my life. So today we will go through that process, what we can truly do so we can finally shift this reality, we can finally manifest what we want. Doesn't matter what it is. So the difference, firstly, difference between feelings and emotions. What is the difference? So emotions are the byproducts of the thoughts. And you know that if we create a clear intention, which is a precise, exact thought of the thing that we would like to experience, it will awaken the emotion of joy and happiness, right? We know that if we close our eyes, if we slow down our breathing so we become more aware of our inner space, Sooner or later, this inner space will become more important than the outer space, our reality. And if at that moment, when we truly become aware of our inner space, as we are doing it in our guided meditations, we start visualizing the thing that we would like to experience. That visualization is a clear thought. It's a clear intention. As soon as we start visualizing it, we will experience emotions of joy, of happiness, of gratitude, of fulfillment, of blissfulness maybe. So you can see a clear thought will create a clear emotion, which can really give us something positive, a positive feeling. So we can see now that when we combine clear thought and clear elevated emotion, or doesn't matter what kind of emotion, clear thought and emotion will create a feeling. So feeling is a byproduct of combination of thoughts and emotions. But with feelings come something really, really powerful. Feeling is the force. Feeling is the signal which is communicating with the atoms in the nature of reality. And I will explain you how I can know that, or how you can understand it. So there was a study when scientists choose one really incredible monk, like we could say a professional mediator, or if mediator is a word, I don't know, someone who is really good in meditation. Okay, so we understand it. So scientists found one monk, like many monks are good with meditation, and they did a study. They had at one place, like they had a DNA structure, a DNA, like we could say a blood sample, and they said to that monk, start visualizing that this DNA is spinning into the opposite direction, because DNA is always spinning like the atoms. It is always moving. As long as the blood sample is alive, it is constantly moving. And they said to that monk, visualize that this DNA is spinning into the opposite direction. And he went into meditation, he started visualizing it, and nothing changed. So then they said to him, okay, now visualize, now feel the emotions as it is moving. Like for example, awaken the emotions while you're thinking that it is moving, and still nothing happened. So emotions didn't affect that DNA moving, spinning. So then scientists said to him, now visualize that it is moving and feel it emotionally as it is truly moving at this moment. Truly feel that excitement of movement into opposite direction. And he did it, and DNA started spinning into the opposite direction. It was really powerful experiment. So it created a really powerful effect on our mind, because if we can learn to speak the language of the structure of the reality, if we can learn to speak the language of the reality of life, we can create this direct contact with it, and we can ask if it can show us or give us the thing that we desire. If it is a healing, if it is a peace on the world, if whatever it is. But it can only be done without ego, because as soon as we awaken ego, our energy goes lower, it falls down, because ego can't go above happiness and joy. We can't be truly happy and in love with the ego. At some point we will move above the ego, beyond the ego, and that's where we get truly in the contact. So many different religions were talking in different languages about the exact same thing. Feel as it already happened, create that contact with it. Like many religions were explaining in the words of God, like God is that force. And like this word God becomes really, really important and powerful in different religions. So people started like thinking that God is a being like us, a human being that is waiting somewhere. So people started thinking like they are less important than this being God. But actually, God is this force, it is the source, but a being at the same moment. So we need to, if we change our perspective about that thinking, how we are looking on those things, everything can change, because like we are not so limited anymore. Truly, we are not so limited anymore, because everything can change. If we are that force and if we can communicate with that force, we will truly become more aware what are we thinking, what kind of thoughts are running in our minds, and we will become more aware of them. We will become more aware of our unconscious thoughts. Truly, we will become more conscious about unconscious thoughts, and we will find out why we feel bad, from where depression is coming from where stress is coming from, what is the cause of it. And we will find out that everything is coming from here. So what is mind? What is mind? If neuroscientists are saying that mind is a brain in action, who is creating that action? Who is creating the action in the brain? If I say, I am thinking about this, who is I? Who is I? Who is doing the thinking? Who is behind the thinking? I am. Only I am can left behind the thinking. So who is I am then? Ask yourself, who is I am? When you say I am this, my name is that, blah blah blah. Who is behind that? Who is I am? Because this I am is choosing the thoughts. And thoughts are awakening emotions. That's why we feel bad, or that's why we feel good. We are choosing how we want to feel. We have the power to control the stress in the body. We can upregulate and downregulate genes. That's epigenetic. Truly, if you can Google it, you can go onto the internet and Google that it's true, it's science now. We have the power to choose what we will experience in our bodies and outside of our bodies, in our reality. We truly have that power. So what you will choose? What you will choose? Because once again, who is I am? Who is I am? Ask yourself. You can close your eyes, or before you go to sleep, for example, because you will be more relaxed, you will be in that alpha or even theta brainwave state, and you can ask yourself, keep asking yourself, who is I am? Who is I am? Or who am I behind my identity? Who am I? Because sooner or later, I can tell you only what I found out, that my identity is just a field of informations. And as soon as I step beyond that field, or I step outside of the bubble of my identity, I find out that I am much more than this. I am much more than what I think I am, because I'm just choosing the thoughts. So if I choose different thoughts, I will experience different identity. If I choose different thoughts, I will see life differently. If I choose different thoughts, everything around me can change. And that can create this, as we call law of attraction, really powerful. Because from higher perspective, or from higher awareness, we can see everything much differently. And only when we experience it, we can completely understand it. But I'm not sure that we will ever understand it completely. And I think it doesn't matter, as long as we are happy and healthy. I think it doesn't matter how much we understand, because I met really amazing scientists and doctors here in Slovenia, and he was not really happy about life, and he knew so much about reality. He was teaching like quantum physics and how the nature of reality works. He was really well known, really famous scientist here in Slovenia. And I spontaneously met him. I was sitting in the park and I was writing a poetry, and some random guy came by and started talking to me, and he was like really nice guy. So we fall into a conversation and we were talking about so amazing things. So I was wondering, who are you, really a lot. And I started showing him my paintings, and he started like describing it from scientific perspective. Oh, it connects with everything, it connects with all my scientific researches and things like that. And it was amazing because back at that time I was not so much into science, I was not reading much about science, but through my visions I've connected with those informations. Everything is connected, and you can see that if we are connecting or communicating with that force, it will give us the guidance, it will give us the knowledge. And sooner or later we will find out that this is real. This is more real than what we've been taught in our past. So when I was talking with that guy, he said like, man, I don't want to hang with people anymore. I think it's too much. I think people lost their meaning, they lost their purpose, and I think there's no positive future as long as we're living the way we are living right now. And for me it was interesting how a scientist, such an incredible scientist, can say things like that, because of course, like if we look around us right now, things don't look so positive, but I know that we need to go through challenges to find the greatest knowledge. And like everything that is happening, I can say from my experiences, I went through many challenges, I went through many hard moments, but when those hard moments were over, I noticed how amazing they were. I would never be the person that I am today if I wouldn't go through those shifts, through those hard moments. And I think the whole humanity right now is going through it. Like people who are more aware, it's much easier for them. But people who are not so much aware of their inner space, for them it's much harder. A few days ago I was talking with a friend of mine, and she said like, man, she didn't say like, man, what's wrong, but she said like, right now it's really hard for me. Like I was sick, probably it was this corona, and then the school and family and so many things are happening right now. I don't have any time to relax, and I have really so many problems with sleeping, and so many negative informations were coming from her. So I said to her, I would start meditating. I sent her some meditations that I filmed, and we need to become more aware. Like we are so busy, right? We are so busy that we forgot about who we truly are, why we are doing the things that we are doing, why we are choosing so many things to do, but we have so little time to chill. We have so little time to truly get within ourselves. But we are, at the end of the day, we are choosing what we are experiencing, right? We are choosing. Of course, if you need to go to school, you go to school. If you need a job, you go to work. It's natural, but still, at some point we need to take time for ourselves. If we will not take time for ourselves, nature will make sure that we will get that time, but many times it can be a painful experiences, because sometimes it's a sickness, sometimes people are losing jobs. Sometimes it's a fight in relationships. You know, nature makes sure, or life makes sure, that we will get that time for ourselves. But when that time comes, we are not many times aware that this is now our time. We think, oh, why this happened to me? Nature always makes sure that we will get our time, but it's up on us then if we are able to see the meaning behind it. So that's why people are saying then, work on yourself, awaken your energy, activate your pineal gland, see the greater vision of the world. Because higher we go with our energy. If you know emotional scale, what is emotional scale? We can see on the emotional scale on which point of energy we are. Because higher we go with our energy, more joy and happiness we will experience. And more joy and happiness we experience, more joy and happiness we are sharing with each other. And it's powerful because you know what is happening. Most of people are complaining because their state of being is at really low low energetic state. And energy is everything there is. Energy is made out of electric waves and magnetic waves, and that's nature, that's reality. Everything is made out of it. So higher we go with our state of being, more joy and love we will experience. More joy and love we experience, more possibilities we see, how much we can really, how many changes we can really create. And that scientist that I was talking about, he knew so much about reality, but his state of being was at really low point. And I'm saying that the first change that we can do is the change of our inner state. As soon as we change our inner state, as soon as we step onto the higher level of awareness, everything around us will change, because we will start taking different actions. We will start giving better, greater energy, and greater things will come back to us. Always. Like, I have many stories like now from my life when something goes wrong. For example, a few days ago, in my car, you know those warning lights in the car when something is wrong with the engine or things like that. One of those lights turned on while I was driving, and I thought, okay, I need to drive it to the mechanic. And I just randomly pick a mechanic close to my home, and I was calling that mechanic, that company, and they were so nice. Like, I've never met in my past so nice people at the places, at the companies like that. Usually when I was doing things like that in the past, everything were so like annoyed or boring, or like, you know, that negative energy. But this time the guy was so nice. Yes, you can come, we will find the solution, don't worry about it. And then I came there, and everything was fixed really fast, and people there were so nice. It was like I'm living on a different planet, because when my friends or people that I know are like, when they are talking about things like that, they are always complaining like, yeah, I was trying to fix it and so many things went wrong, and then I was calling that guy, and they like, it was really expensive, and they were like weird people, or I don't know, whatever. But it feels like when we raise our energy, it feels like we are living in a totally different world. But we are at the same world, but we are experiencing it differently, because we are seeing it differently. And when we see things differently, also things happen for us differently, always equal to our state of being. So this is it. We are like, we need to start working on that. I know times are challenging right now. For many people, people are losing jobs. People are like, some people are experiencing sickness. Some people are going through deep challenges with their relationships and families. I know that because I'm seeing that around me as well. But we need to see higher meanings behind it. If we don't see the higher meaning behind it, it means that we need to step onto the greater level of awareness. And what is awareness? Awareness is our focus. If we focus on the problem, we will just find more problems, right? We will find more problems. Our awareness will be on the problem. As if we will be focusing so long on one problem, it will become a part of our identity. And then we will say, yeah, I feel that because it happened to me. And longer we will be repeating it, stronger it will be, like printed in our identity. We will become it. And I'm saying, focus on what you want to experience. Place your awareness on what you want to experience, because it will become a part of your identity. Your focus is your power. Your awareness is your power. And we say it before, what is consciousness? If scientists or brain scientists, neuroscientists are saying that awareness or consciousness is a brain in action, if I am behind the brain, or like this conscious being which is having a human experience is driving this body, I have the power to choose what this body will experience with me. I want to become a friend with my body. I want to be one with my body. I truly want to find out how to connect between each other. I want to have a great relationship with my body, because otherwise I will be fighting with my body and I will lose the connection. If you know what I'm saying right here, we are losing the connection between I am and my body. We are losing the connection, and it's time to get back to the core. It's time to get back to the source. Like, I love the statement that Wim Hof is saying. What is enlightenment? What is enlightenment? Enlightenment is being happy, being healthy, and being strong. Everything else is bullshit. He's saying that, and that's it. All we want to be is happy. And if we want to be happy, we need to be healthy. If we want to be healthy, we need to be strong. And that's it. How to be happy, healthy, and strong? We constantly need to develop and work on ourselves. Don't let to be misled. Don't let to be like, do not follow the rules that are not serving you. Of course, there are some rules we need to follow, right? It's okay. It's okay. You don't need to jump naked around the city because you're breaking the rules, right? Or you can if you want, but you can truly choose. Like, there are so many things we can work on ourselves. Read a book which will empower you. Watch a video or a movie which will empower you. Do something you love, something which inspires you. Truly raise your energy. Say to yourself that from now on, every single day, I will take at least 5 or 10 minutes for meditation or just conscious breathing. Before I go to sleep, I will write down what I want to experience in my future, or maybe just tomorrow. At least one thing that I want to experience tomorrow. Be simple. You don't need to say, oh, tomorrow I will be a millionaire, and then if you don't experience that, you will be, it's not working. Screw that, it's whatever. Go easy, baby steps, right? One by one, we can change our life in completely new way, and that's it. So it's simple. It truly is simple. So ask yourself what you will change today. What you will change today? So if you are in a kind of situation that is really hard right now, ask yourself, what is life teaching me? What is the greatest lesson that I can get right at this moment? As soon as you will get the lesson, you will grow from it. You will evolve. As long as we are not seeing lessons, we are blocked. We are like stuck. We are stuck as long as we don't find the lesson behind a certain moment. And that's it. And be creative. Don't forget to be creative. Like I said before, we are always creative, but most of the times in negative ways. Because we are thinking what else can go wrong, and then we are creatively thinking what else can go wrong. So start creatively thinking what else can go right. And use your imagination on that. Because like Neville Goddard said, man is all imagination. Everything you can imagine, you can experience. And we all know that actually. We all know that because great leaders, great teachers, great entrepreneurs all say that way. I was imagining it. I was visualizing it. I was following my dreams and it happened. But it's not an easy way. It will not happen in 1 day or 2 days, maybe not even in 1 year. But as long as you're following that idea, sooner or later it will come to you. You will experience it. So that's it, my friends. It is all waiting for you. If you're thinking or, creatively making more negative choices, they are waiting for you to experience them. But if you're creatively making positive choices, positive ideas, they are as well waiting for you. Because as we started at the beginning, we are always communicating with that force, with that divine force, which is giving us life. We started that way, we will end that way, because, the feeling in our heart is the language of life. Our heart is communicating with it. And for those of you who still think that heart is just a pump, in our heart we can find the same neurons that in the brain, but they are active not when we are thinking with our mind, but when we place our awareness into our heart, we slow down our breathing, we become aware of it, and it starts communicating with us. Or we can start communicating with it. Clear intention or clear thought about what you want, even if it's just a peace or love or compassion that you would like to increase in your personal life. Clear intention will awaken clear emotion. And when you combine clear intention with clear emotion, you will activate or create or produce a feeling which will be equal to your thought, and you will get in contact with life. That's it, my friends. I'm sending you love. I'm sending you lots of good energy. Have a beautiful day, my friends, and see you soon. One love.